Our today's story is Colder Than Ice, written by Sadat Hassan Manto and read by Elza Roy. The recording has been done at One Button Studio of the Wilson Library, University of Minnesota. Colder Than Ice. As Ishwar Singh entered the room, Kalwant Kaur rose from the bed and locked the door from the inside. It was past midnight. A strange and ominous silence seemed to have descended on the city. Kalwant Kaur returned to the bed, crossed her legs, and sat down in the middle. Ishwar Singh stood quietly in a corner, holding his kripan absent-mindedly. Anxiety and confusion were writ large on his handsome face. Kalwant Kaur, apparently dissatisfied with her defiant posture, moved to the edge and sat down, swinging her legs suggestively. Ishwar Singh still had not spoken. Kalwant Kaur was a big woman, with generous hips, fleshy thighs, and unusually high breasts. Her eyes were sharp and bright. Over her upper lip, there was a faint bluish down. Her chin suggested great strength and resolution. Ishwar Singh had not moved from his corner. His turban, which he had always kept smartly in place, was loose and his hands were trembling from time to time. However, from this strapping manly figure, it was apparent that he had just what it took to be Kalwant Kaur's lover. More time passed. Kalwant Kaur was getting restive. Ishwar Singh, she said in a sharp voice. Ishwar Singh raised his head, then turned it away, unable to deal with Kalwant Kaur's fiery gaze. This time she screamed, Ishwar Singh! Then she lowered her voice and added, Where have you been all this time? Ishwar Singh moistened his parched lips and said, I don't know. Kalwant Kaur lost her temper. What sort of a motherfucking answer is that? Ishwar Singh threw his kripan aside and slumped on the bed. He looked unwell. She stared at him and her anger seemed to have left her. Putting her hand on his forehead, she asked gently, Jani, what's wrong? Kalwant, he turned his gaze from the ceiling and looked at her. There was pain in his voice, and it melted all of Kalwant Kaur. She bit her lower lip. Yes, Jani? Ishwar Singh took off his turban. He slapped her thigh and said, more to himself than to her, I feel strange. His long hair had come undone, and Kalwant Kaur began to run her fingers through it playfully. Ishwar Singh, where have you been all this time? In the bed of my enemy's mother, he said jocularly. Then he pulled Kalwant Kaur towards him and began to knead her breasts with both his hands. I swear by the Guru, there is no other woman like you. Flirtatiously, she pushed him aside. Swear over my head. Did you go to the city? He gathered his hair in a bun and replied, No. Kalwant Kaur was irritated. Yes, you did go to the city and you looted a lot more money and you don't want to tell me about it. May I not be my father's son if I lie to you, he said. She was silent for a while. Then she exploded. Tell me what happened to you the last night you were here. You were lying next to me. You had made me wear all those gold ornaments you had looted from the house of the Muslims in the city, and you were kissing me all over. And then suddenly, God knows what had come over you. You put on your clothes and walked away. Ishwar Singh went pale. See how your face has fallen? Kalwant Kaur snapped. Ishwar Singh, she said, emphasizing every word. You are not the man you were 8 days ago. Something has happened. Ishwar Singh did not answer. but he was stung. He suddenly took Kalwant Kaur in his arms and began to hug and kiss her ferociously. Jani, I am what I was. Squeeze me tighter so that the heat in your bones cool off. Kalwant Kaur did not resist him, but she kept asking, what went wrong that night? Nothing. Why don't you tell me? There is nothing to tell. Ishasyan, may you cremate my body with your own hands if you lie to me. Ishwar Singh did not reply. He dug his lips into hers. His moustache tickled her nostril and he sneezed. They burst out laughing. Ishwar Singh began to take off his clothes, ogling Kalwant Kaur lasciviously. It's time for a game of cards. Beads of perspiration appeared over her upper lip. She rolled her eyes coquettishly and said, get lost. Ishwar Singh pinched her lip. She leapt aside. Ishasyan, don't do that. It hurts. Ishwar Singh began to suck her lower lip, and Kalwant Kaur melted. He took off the rest of his clothes. Time for a round of trumps, he said. Kalwant Kaur's upper lip began to quiver. He peeled her shirt off as if he was skinning a banana. He fondled her naked body and pinched her arm. Kalwant, I swear by the Guru, you are not a woman, you are a delicacy, he said between kisses. Kalwant Kaur examined the skin he had pinched. It was red. Ishwasyan, you are a brute. Ishwar Singh smiled through his thick moustache. Then let there be a lot of brutality tonight, and began to prove what he had said. He bit her lower lip, nibbled at her earlobes, kneaded her breasts, slapped her glowing hip resoundingly, and planted big, wet kisses on her cheeks. Kalwant Kaur began to boil with passion like a kettle on high fire. But there was something wrong. Ishwar Singh, despite his vigorous efforts at foreplay, could not feel the fire which leads to the final and inevitable act of love. Like a wrestler who is being had the better of, he employed every trick he knew to ignite the fire in his loins. But it eluded him. He felt cold. Kalwant Kaur was now like an overtuned instrument. Ishasyan, she whispered languidly, you have shuffled me enough. Now it's time to produce your trump. Ishwar Singh felt as if the entire deck of cards had slipped from his hands onto the floor. He laid himself against her, breathing irregularly. Drops of cold perspiration appeared on his brow. Kalwant Kaur made frantic efforts to arouse him, but in the end, she gave up. In a fury, she sprang out of the bed and covered herself with a sheet. Ishasyan, tell me the name of the bitch you have been with who has squeezed you dry. Ishwar Singh just lay there panting. Who was that bitch? She screamed. No one. Kalwant, no one. He replied in a barely audible voice. Kalwant Kaur placed her hands on her hips. Ishasyan, I am going to get to the bottom of this. Swear to me on the Guru's sacred name. Is there a woman? She did not let him speak. Before you swear by the Guru, don't forget who I am. I am Sardar Nihal Singh's daughter. I will cut you to pieces. Is there a woman in this? He nodded his head in assent. His pain obvious from his face. Like a wild and demented creature, Kalwant Kaur picked up Ishwar Singh's kripan, unseathed it and plunged it in his leg. Blood spluttered out of the deep gush like water out of a fountain. Then she began to pull his hair and scratch his face, cursing her unknown rival as she continued tearing at him. Let go. Kalwant, let go now. Ishwar Singh begged. She paused. His beard and chest were drenched in blood. You acted impetuously, he said. But what you did, I deserved. Tell me the name of that woman of yours, she screamed. A thin line of blood ran into his mouth. He shivered as he felt its taste. Kalvant, with this kripan, I have killed 6 men. With this kripan, which you... Who was that bitch? I ask you, she repeated. Ishwar Singh's gleaming eyes sparkled into momentary life. Don't call her bitch. Don't call her a bitch, he implored. Who was she? She screamed. Ishwar Singh's voice was failing. I'll tell him. He ran his hand over his throat, then looked at it, smiling wanly. What a motherfucking creature man is. Ishasyan, answer my question, Kalvant Kaur said. He began to speak. Very slowly, his face coated with cold sweat. Kalvant, Jani, you can have no idea what happened to me. When they began to loot Muslim shops and houses in the city, I joined one of the gangs. All the cash and the ornaments that fell to my share, I brought back to you. There was only one thing I hid from you. He began to groan. His pain was becoming unbearable, but she was unconcerned. Go on, she said in a merciless voice. There was this house I broke into. There were 7 people in there. 6 of them were men whom I killed with my kripan, one by one. And there was one girl. She was so beautiful. I didn't kill her. I took her away. She sat on the edge of the bed, listening to him. Kalvant, Jani, I can't even begin to describe to you how beautiful she was. I could have slashed her throat, but I didn't. I said to myself, Ishasyan, you gorge yourself on Kalvant Kaur every day. How about a mouthful of this luscious fruit? I thought she had gone into a faint, so I carried her over my shoulder all the way to the canal which runs outside the city. Then I laid her down on the grass behind some bushes, and first I thought I would shuffle her a bit, but then I decided to trump her right away. What happened? She asked. I threw the trump, but his voice sank. Kalvant Kaur shook him violently. What happened? Ishwar Singh opened his eyes. She was dead. I had carried a dead body, a heap of cold flesh. Jani, give me your hand. Kalvant Kaur placed her hand on his. It was colder than ice.